They say, once you've looked into the dark parts of the internet, it never really leaves you. I used to be someone who knew those hidden places well, a hacker who could find their way through the shadows. But something I saw one day changed everything. It scared me so much that I decided I could never do that again. I probably knew more about the internet secrets than most people, but some of the people in those dark corners were just plain evil. I don't think I'll ever want to turn my computer on again. When I was growing up, I spent all my time on my computer. Before long, I ended up in online groups that talked about hacking and looks. As you can guess, I didn't have many friends in real life. I was picked on a lot, and I was always too weak and scared to fight back. That was until I realized I could use my computer skills to help myself and get even. But I never would have guessed it would lead to the worst mistake of my life. There was one main bully named Ashton, who was a really nasty person. He would make my life miserable every day. I guess that made what I ended up doing to him a little easier to handle. Ashton loved to show off. He bragged about his pretty girlfriend, his good shape, and how great he was at sports. The only problem with him was that he wasn't very smart. So when I saw him as a suggested friend online, I had an idea. With the help of some people I'd met online, I sent him a file in an email. When he opened it, it gave me complete access to his computer. That's when I started to go too far. I could see his computer camera, his location, everything. When his girlfriend came over, I was ready. I used an online dating site and started sending messages to Ashton, pretending to be someone else. It was easy to trick his girlfriend into thinking his online friend was real. But I didn't stop there. I also downloaded a lot of gay videos onto his computer. You can imagine how his family reacted to what was on his computer. He never came back to school after that. I guess he moved away. Now I wish I had stopped there. Oh God, I wish I had stopped. But I was hooked. That feeling of getting justice with my own hands felt so good. So I started going after criminals, the kind who used the dark web to hide and spread bad things. For 4 years, I made their lives miserable. People who hurt kids, big drug sellers, killers, you name it. If they were online, I was making their lives a living hell. I thought I was being smart. I thought I was hiding myself pretty well. But I never knew that someone was watching me every step of the way. And soon, they would let me know. I woke up one morning like any other day, made breakfast, turned on my computer, and looked at websites. Then, I heard a sound. The notification for a social media message. That was strange. I hadn't opened that yet. Maybe I did and forgot. But that didn't make sense because I rarely used it. It was odd, but not enough to really worry me. A message from someone I didn't know. Hey Finley, how's the weather in Seoul? What the heck, weather in Seoul? I was on the other side of the world. The name of the sender was Samuel Peterson. On my other screen, I started looking at his profile to see if we had any friends in common. Maybe someone I met at a party or something. I replied, "Sunny, I hope. Anyone who knows me knows I hate the rain." I kept looking at his profile, but nothing seemed familiar. Samuel replied, "Ooh, a funny guy. Tell me, Finley, do you enjoy playing games?" At this point, I thought he meant video games. "Yeah, man. What did you have in mind? Some online game? I don't mind." "Oh, Finley, I didn't mean one of those kid games. I mean a real game. You know, the kind where someone's life is at risk." I chuckled a little. Someone had probably hacked my account, added this weird person, and was now messing with me. This isn't a joke, Finley. I take these games very seriously. Okay, what? How did he know I laughed? Did he guess? There's no way he could see me. My camera wasn't even plugged in, and how could he have gotten into my apartment? My online profile had a fake address, and I never used my real address for anything. This had to be a joke. I typed, "Sure, dude, I'm bored anyway." I was trying to buy time to figure out where this guy was. I looked everywhere online, trying to find any small clue, found something, kept going, and eventually found an address. When I looked at the address, I froze. I felt the blood drain from my face. It was my address. I was the only one living there, but somehow this jerk was using my address as a cover. A message sound. Another message. "I see you've gone very pale, Finley. What's the matter? Don't believe in ghosts?" I couldn't move. This guy could see me. He knew everything I was doing, and I didn't know what to do. Should I run away and destroy everything? Break my hard drives and motherboard? What the hell was going on? "Finley." My phone started ringing, but it wasn't Samuel. The caller ID said, "Mum." I answered. I didn't want to speak right away. I couldn't let my mum know I was scared. She'd worry. I tried to act calm. "Hey, Mum, is everything all right?" What I heard next made me drop my phone in horror. It made me realize that this was real and not a joke. A voice clearly changed to hide who it was, but the threat was real, and I knew who it was. "Hey, Finley, how's the weather in Seoul?" I stood frozen in fear. Panic took over my body, and many thoughts rushed through my mind. What happened to my mother? Was she okay? What was he doing with her phone? I knew I had to calm down. Something didn't seem right. I picked up the phone and looked at the caller ID. It just said Mum. No number. Damn, how could I be so stupid? He was just hiding his number. It must be to confuse me. I'll play along. There must be something I'm missing. What are you doing with my mum's phone? Where is she? Is she okay? A laugh came from the other end. A deep, nasty laugh. I decided to record the call. Maybe I could mess with the recording and find this caller's real voice. It might not be much, but this person knew where I lived and probably who my parents were. He started talking. "The safety of your mother depends on how our little game goes. I told you someone's life is at risk, but I should have said it might not be your life, so are you ready to play?" At this point, I had a thought. How could Samuel see me? I didn't have any cameras connected to the internet. My computer camera was unplugged, and I took out my laptop camera when I first got it. Another idea was that he broke into my apartment and put in cameras when I was out. But why would he risk getting caught like that? I might have cameras at home and catch him. No, he must be using one of my devices. Doesn't seem like I have a choice, Samuel. Have you checked your phone's pictures lately? Confused, I picked up my phone and opened the pictures. To my horror, there were pictures of me. Pictures I didn't remember taking. Pictures of me sleeping, eating, working on my computer, even taking a shower. It felt like every moment of my life was being watched, but it wasn't just that. Among the pictures, I found one that made my heart beat even faster. It was a picture of me looking at the messages I was reading right now, taken just minutes ago. But what made me feel sick was the reflection in the glass window behind me in the photo. Ashton, with his mean smile, holding my phone, taking the picture. He had been in my apartment, hiding, watching me, and now he was behind all of this. Another message popped up on my computer screen. "Miss me, Finley? Turns out you're not the only one with friends on the dark web. You took my life away from me, and now it's my turn.